Hey everybody, Jeremy here with the Practical IT channel. Tonight we're doing something a little different. Not only is this the first evening live stream for 2022 that I've done, but this is a little less planned out than I normally like to do, but that's all right. And the last thing is that I've got me a couple of adult beverages. It says Dragon's Milk White. This is a beer that is native to Michigan. And I like the Dragon's Milk original better. But this one is not too bad. It's a little lighter, both in color and in flavor. And get that poured in here, and we'll bring that up here for everybody. So the plan for tonight is to talk about a few things, and I will keep talking until the two beers are gone, or I find that I have no people after 45 minutes. I know I didn't get this scheduled quite the way I wanted, and so it's short notice. I realize that. But I've got the time, and I'm not doing a Sunday live stream, so let's have some fun with this and go ahead and get the party started. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Microphone's in my way. All right. So, let me drop myself down to the corner. Good stuff. All right. So, I can't take your phone call right now. All right. So we've got Proxmox up here. And we're going to do a couple of things. So first thing is we should have a release candidate of Ubuntu 22.04. I previously looked at the beta. And we'll see what we've got here. Release cycle, accept. That's not what I want. Let's do that. Daily build. We should be able to find somewhere in here a release candidate. We've had the beta. Let's see. That in fact is labeled beta. Releases at ubuntu.com/2204. Okay, so let's look at their release schedule. We have release candidate April 14th, which is today's date. So we are 7 days out from the full release. And I really don't want the daily build, but we can do that if I can't find a release candidate download. So that was supposed to be today. That's kind of a bummer because that was one of the things I had intended to talk about tonight. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, today is supposed to be the final freeze and release candidate, and I can't find a release candidate download. So let's look at DistroWatch and see if they have news on this. They do not at the moment. So we'll improvise a little bit. Let's take a look at the KDE version of MX Linux instead. So if we come over here, drop in our image there, or location there. Okay. So we're going to play a little bit tonight. We'll get this downloaded. And the other piece that I really kind of wanted to play with, and this brand new virtual machine can be a guinea pig for it. Let me copy another link here. So what I want to do is play with theme.sh. And I must have missed this article back from December when it came out, but this is an interactive terminal theme selector. And script is available as a single portable file that includes all 400 plus themes. And yeah, this looks kind of interesting. So they've got a little video here. And it is what it says it is. It's an interactive theme selector, which is really kind of cool. So let's see if I'm still sitting here talking to myself. We've got one victim watching. Welcome to you, whoever you are, wherever you are. We will see what we can do here, and so yeah, you get the idea of this. We'll jump back to our download and see what we're doing. All right, so come back up here. We're going to create a new VM. MX Linux. And that's MX Linux KDE version. And that's all fine. I'll give it, I don't know, 60. An SSD emulation. 2 cores. And 6 gigs of RAM. Bridge network. Start after created. And we'll wait for this to come up. Okay, so the cool thing here, if you're running VirtualBox, which I'm not, it does have an option for VirtualBox video. We're going to hedge our bets and just do the standard and see what happens. So, hope everybody's doing well tonight. Getting ready for the long Easter weekend here in the US, and I'm sure other places as well. Okay, so we've got user's manual, tools, forums, blah blah blah. About Debian version 11.3, supported until June 2024. And MX21. Okay. Want the installer. And we'll see how this does. Let's see. Layout, US, variant. Okay, that's fine. Next. We're not going to encrypt it for a demo. Next. That's fine. This is one beer that actually tastes a little bit better as it gets closer to room temperature. So, kind of an interesting one in that regard. A lot of beer is better ice cold if I can tolerate drinking it at all, but hey. Alright, so this is going to take a little while. Let's take a look at our article on the terminal.sh script. Script is available in a single portable file. I need a terminal with OSC 411 support. And so we'll see which terminal we've got in MX Linux, which I'm pretty sure it's going to be console because it's a KDE system. And all right. What I really want to know is where exactly I go to get this. So what have we got? Active theme. You'll also need FCF. Alright, I gotta check a message here. Okay. Theme.sh is similar to Paletta, which they covered on this site a while ago. Comes with more features and themes. Okay, so that is on GitHub. Terminal agnostic. Requires FZF. Let's see what that is. Let's see, using Linux package managers. Okay, fair enough. We are going to see where we're at here. Install grub. Samba for Microsoft Networking. MX21. I think that's what I've got it set up as. If not, I can change it later. New York time zone. That's good. And I want to save live desktop changes. And it's 94% done. 95. Okay, so we're getting pretty close here. While we're waiting, I'm just going to jump back here to let's see. Here, get shareable link. And we're going to dump this in the community tab. And that should be good. Okay. Automatically reboot the system when the installer is closed. Finish. Hardware. Check the CD. And reboot. And we'll see how well this runs on 6 gigs of RAM. All right. Oops. All right. It's been a while since I've used KDE Plasma, but I think it's good to take a look and see what's new. Kind of an interesting image there. Okay. And we can go ahead and close that. All right. Well, it is console. So let's make the text a little bit larger for people. Get some updates done. Hopefully there won't be too many updates since this is so new. This is moving along fairly well tonight. And we'll see what we can do with it. %, and it's stuck there. Sounds about right. So once we get this installed, or updated rather, let's see if we can't, while we're waiting. Oh, there it is. All right, so clear our screen. We also want sudo apt install. What was the name of our package here? FZF. Okay. So FCF is installed, so that requirement is taken care of. And for our theme customizer, or terminal theme customizer to be exact, we're going to copy the GitHub link there, and we're going to clone it. No, it didn't paste it between. Okay, so that's not a problem. We'll move that over here, and then we'll go back. Git clone. All right. Okay, so we've got it cloned. We are going to download the theme sh script. Okay, so sudo install theme.sh user local bin. Sudo install so I think I need to be in take a look at that one more time. Install theme.sh user local bin. Okay. Okay, so far so good. Didn't complain at me. Okay. What? Look at their little video again. Dash I. Okay. Dash I. Okay. Pop looks nice. I want something dark. Symphonic is nice. Hamiso dark. IBM 3270. That's a front runner right now. Dracula. Argonaut. Espresso. '80s icy. IR black. Well, so far I'm liking the IBM Elementary is not bad. I think I'm going to do the IBM 3270 and call it a day. I don't think it saved it. Alright, so I'm probably missing something simple. Not going to worry too much about that right at the moment. But what I do want to do is I want to do a Linus run to audit the system and see where that stands after a fresh install with barely any customization. Okay. Alright, let's blow that up to full screen. Maybe we'll make things a little bit smaller for the sake of doing this. Program version 308. Okay, kernel version is 5.10. And we're on the verge of 5.18 as the current version. And not running it as root, we will, or as sudo, we will get some warnings on different things. That's all right. We'll rerun it as with sudo privileges. And see what happens. So, has anybody else joined us? No. Alright, well, we may be done at 8:15, 8:30. I may regroup and try this again tomorrow night. So one of the other things I had in my notes Oops. One of the other things I had in my notes is something I saw on Distro Watch. Oops. And that is that Open Solaris. Well, I thought I saw it there. Maybe I didn't. So Open Solaris, as we all know, is not based on Linux in any way. But Oracle released a new CBE version of Solaris 11.4. And you do have to have an Oracle login to get this. I guess I do have an Oracle login. Wonder if that's even still active. Doesn't appear to be. Okay. Anyways, I'm not really inclined to sign up for a new Oracle login, but if you are feeling nostalgic and want to take a look at Open Solaris, you can do that. I've got sort of a love-hate relationship with it because we used it when I was when I went back to school, and my university had it in the computer lab, mostly for computer science. Used it for the C++ class, and I think we also did I took a Unix class there. I think it was Unix commands is what it was, which was kind of an interesting course. It was like a half a semester course, and interesting professor, and got to apply some out of the box problem solving skills and thinking towards some problems. And in fact, I think I was I don't know if I got called out in class in front of the whole class for doing this, but one particular problem we were working on, I don't even remember the specifics of it, but a lot of people used more mainstream commands to solve the problem, and I decided to use it as an excuse to dive into sed and awk, which was kind of fun, and it caught the eye of the professor for sure as a out of the box solution to a problem, I guess you could call it. So that's that was kind of fun, but yeah, Solaris, and of course we had Spark stations, and not particularly high-end Spark stations at the time, for this environment, and I just remember thinking about how slow Solaris was compared to the version of, I don't know, it's probably Mandrake that I was running at the time. It could have been an early version of Ubuntu. But yeah, it was an interesting class, and got to play around with some things there. Let's see how we're doing. So we have completed our run through. Skip test due to non-privileged mode. That's fine. We have a 57 hardening index, which doesn't really say a whole awful lot, but let's rerun it. Using sudo and see if anything is different. Okay, so there are some unpurged packages, some warnings here, file permissions for cups, for the printing system, minimum of 2 responsive name servers, got a warning on that, not the end of the world. Several of these things are not installed. So that'll actually make our score better. It always seems to ding you if you have things installed in their default configurations. Okay, so that took us up to a 60. Which isn't the worst I've seen. It's a starting point. And I always kind of like to have a baseline when I'm configuring a new Linux system to compare and contrast with, what the final system looks like after I've done some hardening on it. Now, of interest, I don't know of a tool. I don't know of a tool that does the same thing only for Windows systems, because this does not run on Windows as far as I know. So we've got SecPod Saner Personal. Lightweight, easy to use enterprise grade security solution for proactively assessing and securing your personal computer. Identifies security loopholes and misconfigurations and remediates to ensure systems are secure. Well, I've not heard of this before, but it sounds interesting. Let's take a look at the website. So, just what you need for complete control over distributed devices. And of course, they've got all kinds of pop-ups. Vulnerability management, patch management. All right. So that might be something that I'll have to take a look at for my Windows systems as a somewhat of an equivalent to Linus on Linux. But yeah, 60 is not the worst score I've seen. All right. How about the application menu? There we go. There we go. Let's check out settings. Not system, settings. And we want to adjust our screen resolution. System settings. A little sluggish in a VM. I think that's a KDE thing. most of my VMs actually run quite well on this Proxmox box, especially if I allocate 6 gigs of RAM. So see if we can get this to come up. Display configuration. Let's see. What do we got? We want QEMU agent, I believe is what it is called. QEMU guest agent. That should make things a little bit better. Maybe not in a huge way, but should make it at least a little bit better. We want 1440 by 900. At least gives us a wide screen. And we'll see what happens. Okay, that seems happier. And a little bit bigger. Okay, QEMU GA transport endpoint not found, not starting warning. All right. I think we can take care of that. It'll require a shutdown and a setting change in Proxmox, but I think we can take care of that. Okay. Shut her down. Options, QEMU, guest agent. Come on, come on, come on, come on. All right. Reload that. It's all good. We'll start it back up. See if it's any more responsive than where we were at. Okay. So the other thing that was supposed to release today, is Rolling Rhino Remix, which I talked about on Sunday. And I thought they had... Okay. Current release is still 22/3/26. We should be seeing a new release from them fairly soon. 4.14 is what they were calling the next version. But this release has been delayed by an extra couple of days for two various reasons: conflicting schedules and personal lives. And we are aiming to release Rhino config in this release and are determined to do it. So I would hope by this time next week we might have a new release of Rolling Rhino Remix. I'm curious to take a look at that. If you haven't seen my live stream from Sunday, you may want to take a look at that, because the developer of Rolling Rhino Remix was actually in the chat, and we found a bug where it was changing the wallpaper after you did the install. And also, I made the suggestion that, I put the question out there asking whether or not the Rhino update utility also updated snap packages on the system. And I'm not a big programmer. I dabble a little bit, but I don't know what the pros and cons are of having something like that built into a utility like Rhino Update. But the developer did seem to think that that's something that could potentially happen. So whether that's becomes a part of Rhino Update, or whether it Rhino Update has the option added to it to chain into the snap update, that might be an option as well. Hello, Catherine. I think that makes you make number 2 that's watching this live stream that I scheduled on short notice because of some stuff that took longer today than I had expected. So if you're just coming in, what we've been doing tonight, we've been playing around with MX Linux. This newest version 21, just dropped on the 10th, which was Sunday, on my niece's 18th birthday. And I grabbed a copy of the KDE version. I'm pretty sure Fluxbox would be lighter weight. Yeah, we're just kind of playing tonight, and I'm having an adult beverage while we're doing this and killing some time. It's a long weekend, and just wanting to see what happens here. This does not appear to be going too well since I ran the update for the QEMU agent. Like the video, thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, we're up to 4 people now. All right, welcome to the newcomers. We have installed MX Linux 21 tonight. We've talked about a few other topics. We ran Linus to get a security index. On this new install, we've also installed terminal.sh, which is this cool kind of terminal theme switcher that I honestly just found out about the last couple of days. And I thought, well, hey, we might as well play with it a little bit. And then I updated I installed the QEMU guest agent, and we restarted, and now it's not liking me so much. So we might be dead in the water if this doesn't come up. I'm actually going to force it off here, and we'll try it again. If it doesn't come back up, then we might be wrapping up at the 1 hour mark. Let's see. You're still getting that black or purple screen. So the machines that I typically run Linux on when I run it on actual physical hardware tend to be just Intel integrated graphics. Now, it just so happens, let me bring up my text message from the guy. Just so happens that a friend of mine, who I will be going to meet up with tomorrow, has some higher end equipment that he wants to offload. And let me see if I can find out where the specs are. It's an Intel system, but that's all right. So it is. It's only 7th generation. It's an i9. Looks like it's an i9. Let's see. An X299 motherboard, an i9 7980XE. And he's ready to throw in some DDR4 RAM, enough to get me started, for what I feel is a pretty decent price. And so I've got an old tower. This is a full ATX or EATX tower, and I'm gonna build a sleeper system. You know, people that have more money than sense build sleeper cars. I'm going to build a sleeper computer. Nobody's going to expect me to be running something that impressive in this old case. I'm going to have to source a power supply for all this stuff. He's also throwing in 2 NVIDIA 2080s that may need a little bit of work, but I've got a connection that might be able to help me with that. Um, let's see. Have an AMD CPU and GPU. So that's interesting. Because AMD graphics cards are generally pretty well supported under Linux, and the driver is built into the kernel. So I'm not sure why it's doing that to you. Um, all the graphics cards I've got right now are NVIDIA, and they're older NVIDIA cards. Um, I think the newest one I've got currently in a machine I've got in the other room is a 1660. All right, so maybe this is gonna cooperate with me. X299 can be tricky. Is there something in particular I should be looking out for? Um, oh, you're using VirtualBox for the install. Uh, Still, that I don't think I've had issues like that in VirtualBox in a bunch of years. Of course, your the base OS you've got installed is what, Windows 10 or Windows 11, and then you're running VirtualBox on top. And I either run when I run VirtualBox, I either run it on Mac OS or Linux. And I usually go the opposite direction and virtualize Windows. So I've approached it a little from a slightly different angle. Okay, Windows 11 Pro. Well, so the closest I can come to that setup, I've got my little B-Link box, and I've granted it's not a let's see, it's not a discrete graphics card, but this is an all AMD system. This is a 3750H, and I've not had issues like that running VirtualBox on here. What do I have? Those are Ubuntu servers and Volumio. I don't actually have a... this is also Windows 11 Pro. What do I have for ISO images on here? I've got Xubuntu 21.10 is the newest one. Everything else is server stuff. I will do some testing and see if I can reproduce the issue. Because I've got this Windows 11 box, and then I've got a Windows 10 Pro system here too. And that one I definitely haven't had any issues on. So, of course, this one is just Intel. I'm pretty sure that's Intel integrated graphics, Universal Media Server. I need to can that. Pretty sure that's just integrated graphics. Let's see, systems up there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's just integrated graphics. I know how I can check that. Do I have... let's see. That's what I wanted. Already installed. Do this. We'll find out exactly what I've got in this machine. So yeah, this is just an i5 3470 in this machine. Good old Ivy Bridge. Yeah, Intel HD graphics. So yeah, I'll do some testing on my Windows 11 box and see if I can reproduce the issue. Yeah. So I'll do some testing, and then the next time I do a live stream, I can let you know what my findings were. But I have not run into a black or purple screen in quite some time. I think it's been a number of years since I've seen anything like that. So that will be an interesting little experiment to perform. All right, so we've got our MX Linux up here, and it definitely seems to be a little bit more responsive than what we started with, which is good. Excuse me. You get some standard KDE stuff on here. Nothing too earth-shattering. Start add-on. Local game. Let's do easy. Start original set. Yeah, and that's going to be one of the tricky things with this. Is you either have to use the keyboard or you have to get the mouse working a little bit better than what it is currently. Yeah. Playing games in VMs is not generally advisable. At least not the way I've got things set up so far. So you get a few games. You get Digicam, a document scanner, LibreOffice is installed, Firefox for the web browser, KDE Connect, which is to let you hook up to your phone, Android generally. We've got an SMS app, KRDC, KTorrent. Don't want to talk about that too much and risk getting demonetized. But just for the sake of argument, I will mention that torrenting is fully and completely legal if you are torrenting Linux ISO images. And if your lawyer tells you otherwise, and you've got a crackpot lawyer that's just after your money. Some tweaks and tools. And your normal system stuff. You've got it back in time for the backup. It still includes an ADSL point-to-point protocol over Ethernet configuration for DSL users. Dolphin is their file manager, which isn't awful looking. It's not really my cup of tea, at least not with the white theme. And then some system utilities, things like SMB 4K for connecting to network shares, Windows network shares. You can scan the network. Not sure that's actually working. No status. But yeah, I don't know when that was last updated. 2019. Well, that's been a couple of years. I always cringe a little bit when a system has software that's not been updated in 2 years. It's one of the reasons that I'm kind of off the fog kick. So let's see, installs and then restarts. I get a purple or black screen. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Catherine. I'm becoming a bigger and bigger fan of dark themes every day. That's why when I got this handy dandy theme switcher. I made it dark black. So that's kind of nice. But obviously, since it's a fresh install, there's nothing on this system to look at right at the moment. Just out of curiosity, we are on Firefox version 99.0.1, so that's the current. That makes me happy. So, yeah, I guess we ended up talking more about MX Linux than anything else tonight, but that's all right. Come on, I want to shut down. Well, fine, we'll do it this way. Oh, there we go. Shut down. Thank you. All right. Well, next time around, well, let's see. What do we have planned for next time? So, today's the 14th. Today's the 14th. There's not going to be a live stream on the 17th. Ubuntu 22.04 is going to be released on the 21st, which is actually my father's 76th birthday. So on the 24th of April, we will be concentrating on Ubuntu 22.04 and doing some testing and playing around with that. So, white makes you snowblind. Yep, I agree with you. So, I guess on that note, I think I'll go ahead and wrap this up for tonight. I want to do a little bit of research on that i9 7950 XE. Was that 7950 XE? Was that what I said it was? 7980 XE. So I'm assuming he's throwing in a cooler with it. I'm going to knock it all apart. I'm going to put on fresh thermal paste and get all that stuff cleaned up. And let's see, 165 watts. That's an 18 core monster. Yeah, this will be fun. This will make a great Proxmox server. And if I can get both the 2080s running, then I can do GPU pass through to my virtual machines even. This is the Extreme Edition 7980. So I'm kind of excited to play with something that high end. I kind of wish it was a Threadripper instead, but for the price, I can't get a Threadripper. So, I'm kind of excited about this, and I'm sure this will be featured in some upcoming videos as I start the build and see what we can do with it. But it should be a lot of fun, and it came out of a known working system, so it shouldn't be too bad for setup, and just I'll go through all the settings and make sure everything looks kosher, and go from there. But this should be fun, and I'll have to do some benchmarking on this as I go forward. But I don't think one thing I want to check on here. I don't think there's support for. No, there's nothing X299 listed on this. So yeah, core boot's not going to be an option, unfortunately. I really want to try a system with core boot as opposed to a proprietary BIOS or UEFI. Core boot does things enough different that there are some benefits. So, yes, I will definitely want a good cooler on that. And I will debate whether to use this case that I've got, or if I will invest in something, because this will probably be a system that I'll keep around for a few years. And you know, it's it'll be fun. I want to test it with some different things too, and see what um, see what I can do with it. But yeah, at least one of the 2080s works and just needs a good cleaning. The other one, I guess, was getting a little on the flaky side, so that might need to have the solder reflowed, which I've got to connect with somebody that may be able to do that for me. 299 is a specialized chipset. I don't have the specifics on the board yet. I will know more tomorrow when I pick it up. But the guy I'm getting it from, he suffers from a spinal condition, so he spends a lot of time doing gaming and 3D rendering and stuff that he can do right from his apartment. And he's been really, really, really heavy into computers and building and doing this kind of stuff for a number of years. You know, I've been building computers for 25, 27 years now. And, you know, he's kind of my go-to guy if I have questions, and don't necessarily want to spend, you know, a day and a half researching one little thing. But yeah, it should be an interesting exercise to get this transplanted and up and running and, you know, cleaned really well and ready to go again. So it's not a mainstream chipset. I will absolutely keep you in mind if I have any questions, and between you and the guy I'm buying it from, I have no doubts that I can get any questions I might have answered. You know, I used to build computers like every 6 months to a year for a while there in the 90s and early 2000s. And then I went back to school and priorities changed. Being a poor college student for a number of years made me rethink my priorities. Much better with hardware than Linux. Yeah. And that's all right. I think between you and David and I think we've got one hell of a team and some great knowledge between the three of us. So, but yeah, books and tuition, and there was a period of time there that I was living off from financial aid, and that meant some real frugal living. So yeah, but on that note, it is 10 minutes to 10. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up tonight. Thank you everybody that came out and stuck with me as I meandered through MX Linux and the theme switcher and running Linus for a security hardening index and all that kind of fun stuff. And I guess one thing I really want to do at this point is I want to get a dark theme for Proxmox because that would be great. The bright white background, especially at night, is a little much. So, all right, thank you everybody. I will see you. I will see you on the 24th is going to be the next live stream. I should have a couple of videos out between now and then. I've got a couple things that are in various stages of recording and editing. So I'll see everybody soon. Have a safe weekend, and happy computing to everybody.